Hey guys, very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the video number 400. My name is Ajay, and in this video we are today going to learn how to make the leave calendar. If you're looking for leave management kind of a system and you want to create in Excel using the VBA, then this is the perfect example, right? And I would say that what a splendid way to finish up our 400 videos on this channel, talking about this particular subject. So thank you so much, dear subscriber Alam, who actually posted this comment 3 days back. As you can see here, hi sir, this is amazing, but I have a question. What if we want only one email to go to the manager, even if the user applies for more than one leave? For example, if the user applies for 1st December, 2nd December, 3rd December, only one email should go to the concerned person with the dates applied. And if he selects and deletes the entries, no email should go. Currently it's giving me error when I select and delete the entries together. Is that possible? I'm sure you will find out the solution. So for those who are watching the channel for the first time, guys, we have all these amazing 400 videos available on this channel, and they are divided into basically 4 segments. One is the Excel and the Excel VBA, and then MS Access and Access VBA, right? So you can go through all these things, and these are all the different playlists which are created for you, and every playlist has some videos, 6 videos, 10 videos, 15 videos, 30 videos, it depends upon the category, right? Now let me tell you exactly what I want to do. So Alam actually had forwarded me this file as well. This is his actually the file, and on this file basically he's trying to create an automation that if any point in time I enter here these all these cells where you can see here we have got all the basically the calendar, we have the dates here. If I enter here, let us say leave L for example, then email should go to my manager, right? So now what actually I will not enter here anything because he has done some programming, so I'm going to further add some more programming into his code, but I will also explain each of you that how basically what he has done and now what we further want to add it. Right now the thing is, as you can see here, I've got here present, sick leave, plan leave, unplanned, ULPL, SLP. So the idea is that if I enter here P, okay, in this particular cell, and then the date is going to be, let's say, 1st of April, as you can see. So the email should go to the supervisor. Okay, email should go to the supervisor. As you can see here, we have here supervisor name also. But this is not the only thing which we want to do, because if this is a thing, then this would have been very simple. And in fact, I have talked about these kind of a leave calendars in my earlier videos as well, right? And if you are new to the channel, if you want to see that what all things we can do using the Excel VBA, controlling the Outlook, then please go ahead and watch these 32 amazing videos under the playlist connecting Outlook from Excel. So you can see here, you got to see all the videos here one by one, right? So in this video also, because we are going to talk about the email, guys, functionality, so you should be knowing the email concept. So the idea is not only just once I enter here leave, the email should go, but what I want to do is I should give the freedom to the user, or maybe you can say that in other words that user should apply the leaves here, enter the leaves here, and then just one consolidated email should go to the manager, rather than every time he write here L the leave, and then the email keeps on going. So if I am applying the leave for 2 days, 1st of April and 2nd of April, instead of having the 2 emails, we want to send one consolidated email which should say that the dates applied were 1st and the 2nd of April. Right now we're going to build this code as usual. I really haven't planned much about it. I mean, I haven't actually written any code, but yes, I did some planning how to go about it. So first of all, what we are going to do, what are the important things you should know about this, because this is not a basic video. If you are very much thorough with the VBA events, what are the events, then guys, this video is must for you. If you know that how to send the emails, using the Outlook part, then also you can watch this video. Now I'm not saying that you should not watch this video if any of these topics you're not aware. Of course I will try to explain as much as I can, but then the good thing is that even if you do not know, after watching this video, what you can do is you can go here on my channel and you can, as I said, that you can watch these videos connecting Outlook from Excel. The video numbers which are like very primitive, you can see here the very old videos, 1992, 56, you should watch. For example, how to send the emails automatically. So they are very basic videos, right? And but there are, I mean, tons of the videos here. You can watch whatever video you want to watch. But especially about the events also, there is a playlist here, guys, which you can see that if you hover your mouse over here, these are all the different playlists. So this is the VBA events playlist, which is very important for you to understand. So you can see that what are the events, the basic level, and then of course this video number 305, sheet change event, intersect and target. These are the two videos you must watch. However, I will try to explain in this video as well. Okay, so let us go ahead and make the code now. I have taken enough of your time, but it is always required because I like to discuss the things in a very proper way. Now guys, what happens, first of all, you need to understand. So the basic idea is how you're going to ensure that if anything enters here, here or here or here, there should be no macro which should run, right? Because we don't want to send an email. We want to send an email only when somebody enters the data in this range. This is because you're basically entire, the table, the leaf calendar, as you can see in the row number 5, we have all the leaves coming, right? So how are you gonna do that? And also one of the very important reason that you really don't want to click, you don't want your user to click somewhere and then send the emails. That's not the user responsibility to click on the button and then the email should go. Ideally it should happen at any point in time if he enters here L. Okay, L means PL, maybe planned leave. As you can see here, this is PL. So the email should automatically get triggered without letting the user know. So this is what we are actually trying to plan. And there is another condition that if he enters here PL, and press enter, or maybe if he enters anything over here, it should not matter at all. So my basically the point is that it should cover this particular area only. This area has to be covered. So in order to do that, we are going to write a precondition macro, right? Which is which we will go in the developer tab and we're gonna write it. So I'll tell you now what is the plan. So what code actually he has written, and I'm very glad that Alam, by learning, by following my channel, you are able to make so pretty cool, awesome codes. So this is what actually the Alam has written. This is all the entire code my subscriber has written, right? So now what I actually want to do is, so if I come here and I show you that what exactly he has done, the major important point is that he goes in the sheet 2. Okay, so I'm going to explain you that particular code. Now, because he has already made the code, so I really don't want to take his credit. I want to share his the code, how he has written it. But of course, I will explain each of you what exactly we have done. Now, the first thing is that you need to click on the sheet which basically you're targeting. This particular kind of a macro cannot be written in the module, because in the modules, what you write, the user the macros doesn't run themselves, right? If I write anything in the module 1, for example, if you know that if you have a basic understanding of the VBA, if I write anything in the module, I will have to click somewhere. So I need a condition that any point in time, if my target cell is G6 or G7 or maybe H6, any of the cell which belongs to this range, the macro should automatically trigger. Okay, the macro should automatically run. So in order to do that, guys, VBA has given us some events. Events means they are the self-triggered, right? I had explained it in my the videos which I was telling you. So I will not explain much on this because this is a basic part, but look at this code what we have done. So we went in the sheet 2, and then from here we selected the worksheet, and then when you select the worksheet, for example, if I just show you here, this is a drop down and these are all the events which you can choose from here, right? Now if I click on the deactivate, then what happens, you see automatically VBA will create this worksheet underscore deactivate event. Now that means that this macro will always run if you write anything between this private and enter. Whenever there is a worksheet deactivate happens, which means that whenever you're going to deactivate this calendar sheet, okay, because you're writing the code in the calendar, the moment the calendar sheet gets deactivated, unselected, which means any other sheet you're going to select, that macro will run automatically and it will not wait for the user inputs, right? So that is something we need. Why we have written the if you look at this, so what we have done here is we selected basically from here the drop down, we selected this change event, right? It comes as it is. So this will be created. Private serve worksheet underscore change by while target is ranked, enter. This is going to be created itself, and this is what actually we will have to create the entire thing, right? So now what we want to do is let me explain you the code, but let us just first delete these two lines. I was kind of experimenting something. Now you see, if I put the break code here, now one very important thing which we need to understand in this code is that if any point in time I do any changes here, for example I write here U. Now you know that this cell was empty. The moment I press enter, that means empty cell is going to change to U. So that means there is some change happening. So automatically your event will fire. And look at this, guys. The moment I press enter, this event is going to run itself. I put the break code here. That's why you're able to see this. Otherwise, this is gonna run very fast. You know, just like any other normal macro, it's gonna take seconds to run it, and user won't be able to see that there is something running actually in the background, right? Now this is going to run. Now look at this. We say that the target dot value. Now target actually is a VBA word. It is not a variable, right? If I just write here target, you would see that it's a proper VBA word, and you get to see all the things. So basically target actually is a keyword which we use for the particular cell where we are doing some action, right? Now what he is saying is, the code says is that if the target value is going to be blank, then it should immediately stop the macro. And obviously you know that the macro is basically it's not empty, so it will go in the next line. Now here it says that if the target value is equals to P or the target value is equals to UL, then again also stop the macro, just come out of the macro. Why? Because if the user is going to enter here P, as his attendance or her attendance, or maybe the next day they come and they write this unplanned leave UL, we don't want to trigger any email. That's the question. We want to send out the email to the manager only if he's going to or she's going to apply for the planned leave PL. And that too, at the same time, we need to take care that if we have more planned leaves, if I'm applying 3 planned leaves, then instead of having the 3 mails going from my end, it should go only 1 email. That is the main target, right? So this line will also, as you know that we have entered here U. So obviously this is also the condition which will not satisfy. Now this is the important condition. Now look at this, guys, what it says. This is an intersect function of the VBA. Right? Now what does that mean? Now intersect, in the general term, if you work in the Excel, you know that intersect basically means that where the overlapping happens, right? Where the overlapping of the column and the row happens. For example, if I just ask you, let me come I'll come back to the code a little later. Now if I just ask you that I select this cell and this row, what is the cell which is getting intersected? Obviously your answer would be this D4, right? So D4 is a cell which comes in this particular column, which is the D column, and if I select the row number 4, just in case if I select couple of more, let's say this one and then this one, then what would you say? What are the cells which are intersecting? Obviously one is going to be the D4 and then D5 and the D6. So 3 cells are intersecting. So this is the same logic, the beautiful logic which we have developed here. Well, though I have uploaded my videos also on the intersect and the target, you just need to go here. I was talking about this intersect and the target. These are the very basic videos. You should go and learn that, right? But I'm going to explain you what happens. So basically what we are saying is that whatever the target we have, now the target means that on the cell where we have changed a value, if that is going to be a part, if that is going to be intersect with this range, then run this macro. And if it is going to be nothing, which means that is nothing, you see we have used the function is nothing. That means that if the target is not going to part of this range, then just stop the macro, because we don't want to run it, right? So now, and if you see that G6 to AK15, why the range G6 to AK15? Because your actually table starts from here G6, you can see here, and the last actually the row number, the last cell would be this one, guys, this, right? Okay, 15. So what I'm actually saying is, if I just need to explain you here, I'm saying that if I do any changes here, for example, if I do any changes here in this G6, that becomes my target cell. Okay, so my target cell would be, the VBA would take this target cell as G6. Okay, this is going to be a G6, right? and let me reset this, because every time I enter something, the macro will run. And the another part is that my range, which is going to be from G6 to whatever it is. So I'm saying that if that target cell is going to be a part of this, if it is going to intersect in this particular range, then run the macro, otherwise don't do anything, right? So that is why when you press enter here, I press here, for example, U, and I press enter, that my target cell actually is G16, like G18, right? I think G18 or G17, right? So first condition obviously will not satisfy because the target value is not blank, so it goes to the next. Now again, the target value is not P, and neither it is UL, right? Neither P nor UL. So of course the macro will not stop. Again, there is a one-third condition, which is that is it intersecting, and that in the G6 to AK15, this particular target which I have here, which is this U, okay, this is not going to intersect, okay. And I think you can also write here, I think the address, that is also going to give you a good effect. I just write here the target address. I think then you would be able to see the target address as well. So if I just write this and put the watch on this, it should give me the address. And all right, so it's not there. Anyways, let me just run this and let's see if we can run this. Type mismatch. Okay, so let me keep this target as well. Target, let me keep this target only. Let's not change that. Target is obviously is gonna be U, and I think it will pick it up in this range, right? Because I haven't developed this code, so that's why I was just trying to troubleshoot it. Anyways, let's run this. So now what should happen? It should immediately go to the exit sub, guys, right? So the macro is going to stop. Why? Because your intersection part is nothing, right? You're not getting anything. This target U is not a part of G6 to AK15, which means that it's nothing, right? That's how you write it, and the macro will stop. So that means if I just enter anything here, now I just remove the break code from here, as you can see. If I just enter something, you won't be able to see anything happening, but the code is going to run. Look at this, because the moment I run this, UI is going to, it's going to check the UI here in this particular line, and which is not a part of G6 to AK15 range, and the macro will stop, right? So now how we're going to see the code? If I just enter here, let us say P, I enter the P, and now this macro will run, and that the target value is P, which is equals to what? This P. So we are saying that either the target value is P or the target value UL. You need not to run this macro. You should immediately go to the exit sub, and then the macro is going to go on the exit sub. But now there is a point. Now you must be wondering that why it didn't go to the exit sub. Yes, because F is a case sensitive. I talked about this in my many of videos. Is the uppercase P. So what you need to do is, I have written here P in the small case, right? So I just on my caps, and now I'm going to enter the capital P. Let us see. Now target value is blank. Of course it is not blank. Is it P? Yes, it is P. So you see that it goes in the exit sub. The macro finishes again. So that's how you can do these things. So these are all the conditions which we are writing here. So again, if I write a UL, I press enter. Now that the target value is UL, and this is the all condition. So again the macro will stop, right? So this is done. First of all, this we have done. Nice, right? This is a pretty nice code, and we are able to do this, handle this plan and the ULEs. Just in case if you mind, if you have this question in your mind, that how about if user enters the everything in the lower case, you can write one more condition. Just copy this, just copy this and just write here. It's very simple, guys, right? You just write here in the small p. So that is also going to be taken care of. It's a big deal, right? That's what you can do, right? Or I would say, rather than doing all that stuff, you can create here a drop down using the data validation. Don't give the user option to write anything, because maybe he can write present, present, right? Who knows? Or if your audience is very much mature and they follow your instructions, then you can tell them that they always have to write case, uppercase, everything, right, in the uppercase. But anyways, different troubles, different ways to come out of it. As said, that you can also write this target value in the small and the capital, both you can do that, right? That's not really the agenda here. What is the next thing we want to do? So I'm gonna write here now this the leaf PL. Okay, so I'm going to write here PL. For example, I press enter. Now let us go ahead. So first, the target value, is the target value blank? Of course it is not, it is PL. So I'll go to the next if condition. Now here again it is checking that whether it is P or UL. You know that it is not, so this line will also be discarded. This third line again will be discarded because we haven't neither we have P, small p, nor the small ul. Now what is the next thing? Now the next thing is very interesting. Now you know that your target basically it's PL, which is a part which is intersecting in this range, target comma range G6 to AK15. So that means in the layman term, if I have to explain you, basically your PL actually is a part of range G6 to AK15. So that means it is something. You can't say that it's nothing, right? So that means then condition is going to be false. Now it will go in the else mode. Now once it is going to be in the else mode, what basically you would like to do here? Now you want to capture the date, guys, because PL doesn't matter to me. What matters is that for which date actually user has applied for the planned leave, the PL, and that is what we are going to learn here. So the first thing is that I'm going to capture the address of my target cell. The target cell was PL, right? Because I did the change there, right? Because of this worksheet underscore change, even this target will be PL, not the another one where after pressing the enter, I'm right now, as you can see, on the G7. No, target cell will always be the one where you're gonna bring the change and then you press enter. So now you can see that if I just hover my mouse over here, I should be able to see the address of the Z, which is called $G$6. And you know that we have done the changes in the J6. Now the point is, what we need to do basically here is, I know the column now. I know the column, guys, because if it is a G6, then that means that the column is G, but how about the row? That is important point. So what I will do is I will extract my column from here, which means that from this $G$6, I will get my G extracted, and then I will concatenate that G with the row number 5, because in the G5 I have my data, and this is what exactly I want to capture. So this is what is happening here now. First, we are collecting here the G6, which is the target address, and the next is your Y, which is another variable which we have declared. This is going to give you the target row, and as you can see, it is actually the target row, which is 6. So I just run this, and now the Y is going to show me as 6. So let us see where exactly we are going to, we are using it this or not. I don't think so we are using it anywhere. Or maybe you don't need the target address, that's fine, you can just simply remove it. The only point is that in this Z, which you see here, if I hover my mouse here, we want to remove basically the $6, because then I will be having the G. So what I will do is I will find the position of the first dollar. Now you should know the find function here, which is an Excel find function. If you do not know the find function, you will not be able to understand this. Okay, and I have actually there is a playlist on my channel by the name of Excel text functions. So basically my idea is to find the position of the first dollar. So I have created one more variable, find1, and then the worksheet function, and then we are finding basically this dollar, this G6, starting from the first position. So the find function actually uses key parameters. If I just let me quickly explain you. For example, you have here $G and then 3 and dollar. This is how the VBA create the address. So if I say this, $G and then I beg your pardon, the dollar would come here and then 3. So this is how the VBA creates the cell address. Now I want to get here G, because I know my row number. Row number will always be row number 5, right? Because all the dates are written here, and this is the date actually which I want to forward to the forward in my email that the user applied for this date. So the row number will always be 5, but using this my target cell, I can get the column, because you never know. Right now I have written the PL here, maybe I can go and write the PL here and I can press enter. So the target column is the target address, that in that case is going to come as $J$7, and that is the reason I'm going to make it dynamic. So how to get the G from here in Excel? If I give you this task, obviously first of all you will find the position of the $sign, find text. What do you want to find? I want to find the $sign in this text. Yes, I want to go in this text, and the start number has to be 1, and I press enter. Okay, that's how you write the formula. I should have written here the comma actually. Now you got the position of the first $sign. In order to get the position of the second dollar, you will have to bypass your basically the first dollar. Okay, so what you will do, again you will find the dollar, you will write here that I want to find the dollar in this text, but now the start number has to be what? The start number has to be this plus 1, because this is the position of my first dollar sign. So in order to start my calculation from the next character, I will have to add plus 1 to the start number. So now when you press enter, guys, you will get to see here 3. 3 means that now this is the position of my, basically the second dollar. Okay, so now what I will do after doing calculating the position of the second dollar, I'll simply use my left function. I go in this text, and the number of characters I want is 3. So if I just press enter, you will get to see here $G. So just in case if I change here maybe anything else, maybe I change this to, for example, GH3, you see that you get to see here GH. So this is what we have done. This is the first find and this is the second find, guys, and this is the left function, right? So this is a very normal function. Anybody who is VBA, who is learning VBA, or who is just even a basic, has a basic knowledge, I think these functions you must be familiar about it. And in case if you're not, I told you that there is a playlist called Excel text functions. So the same thing is happening here in this. When I run this code, again let me show you. I just run here PL, I press enter, there is a change event which occurs, the macro will automatically trigger in this sheet, and then the target value is not blank, so everything will, these all the lines will skip, will not go in the then mode, because our target is neither P nor UL, and it's not even blank space. Now here it will check whether it is intersecting with this range, and you know that it is actually intersecting. It is a part of range G6 to AK15, so it will go in the else mode. It will not skip the macro, it will not exit the macro, I beg your pardon. Now we're gonna capture the address. You know the changes happened in the G6. Now you have your G6, right? So the same function find one, we are trying to find this dollar sign in this $G $6, and the first time we're going to find the first dollar from the starting position is 1. You cannot find the position of the second dollar unless you find the position of your first dollar. Now here if you look at this, the find one is coming as 1, which is the position of the first dollar. And the same thing again, we are again using the find to another variable, and I'm going to use the dollar sign. Again I'm going to use this $G $6, and this time my search will start from the find 1 plus 1, the same thing which I did, right? So the find 1 is already 1, you can see here the 1 is going to be added, so we're going to start from the second. So if you start the second, you know that the second would come here as the G, right? So the moment I run this, what will happen, this will give me the second position of this $G $6, the position of the second dollar in this. So the position would come as 3. So if I just see it, you see that find 2 is coming as 3. Perfect. So we got the position of the second dollar. Now what is the next thing I'm doing is, next thing I'm using the left function, as I told you. So now what the user is doing, he's basically extracting from the J6 how many the characters, 3 characters. So obviously you get to see here $G dollar, and then he's concatenating this with the 5, make it $G $5, because your leaves are on the 5th row and that is not going to change. So eventually you will get to see here $G $5. Now what is the value in the $G $5? Of course, because we want to capture, a date. So what happens, what we do is we say there is another variable which we have declared, which is called tail_date. Right now you don't see these variables here. If you're wondering that there is no dim word coming here which says dim find 1, dim c, dim find 2, I haven't declared any variables. So guys, basically they are all declared in the module. They are all declared as global, right? Global, why we are declaring them global? Because we want to use them in the different module, in the different macros, right? So I'll tell you right now, you see that this PL date is gonna come from this new val range. I have used the range, and then in the range this G5 $G $5 dot value is coming, right? So first I checked that which cell I'm using for my PL, if it is a part of G6 to AK15, then I'm trying to, I'm extracting the column part of it, including the dollar signs. So I get to see the dollar, and then get to see the dollar with the cell, the cell column. There's no actually the row which should come here. As you can see in this particular case, this is basically, this is gonna extract the dollar G and dollar, and then the 5 I'm concatenating it so that I can make it this, dollar G dollar 5, and then this dollar G dollar 5 I'm using in the range word. So whatever the value I have in the range dollar G dollar 5, it is going to come in this PL date. As you can see here, I got my date, which is 1st of April, and this is the same date for which actually I have applied. Now what is the next thing the user is doing? Next thing he's doing is that, because this PL date is a global variable, it is not going to lose its value when it is going to, be used in the different macros. So we are calling another macro which we have written in the module. So if I just press enter, F8, it goes here, and then let me just remove this. This is not required. This is something which I was doing it. So that's the code actually. Now this comes in this module. So we have jumped from the sheet to this module, and here the email is going to be drafted. So as you can see, we have written the entire code dim o look as outlook.application, because we want to work with Outlook. So this is how you write, and you're going to define the new Outlook application. Yes, we want to send the emails. That's why we're using this, this OMail class, the mail item class. So it's gonna create the OMail item. I talked about all this in my all those amazing 30 videos which are on, the Outlook part. This is an invariant function. Invariant function, or if you write this invariant and then in the bracket username, what will happen is going to give you the, your username of your machine. So when I run this, you see that it should show my username, which is Acer. Now Acer is my actually laptop's, the username. In case if you have any other name, whatever name you have, that this invariant function is going to return that, right? Now why we are doing that? Because we want to capture actually who has applied for the leave, right? We need the date, and we need also a person who is applying for the leave. So now he has written this all syntax, which is, you must be quite familiar. In case if you are following the channel, this is how basically the email is going to forward with OMail, and then end with. So we are saying that in the body format it has to be a plain format. We're going to display the email. If I run this, you see that the pop-up should come, and there we go, the pop-up comes here with my signature, everything. That's my number, my name, and then in the body what we are going to do is, this is very important. So basically guys, now if you look at this, in the body, now what we are saying is that range, and then a, and then y dot value has applied the leave for this date. You look at this PL date. This PL date basically we have declared here on the top, right? And this is the same PL which you got it from here in the sheet 2. Remember that this is basically my target. The person who applied for the date, if you come back to the leave, this PL was applied by me for the 1st of April, and this is how smartly we calculated that PL. We are going to use that PL not just in this sheet 2 module, right, but we are also going to use this in the module 1, right? So that is why we declared it as a global, so that you can carry forward the value. Otherwise, should know that all the variables by default, when you write the variables, declare the variables within the macro, within the sub, they become the local variables, and they lose their identity, they lose their value the moment your macro jumps from one macro to the another macro. I had talked about this in my one of the playlists, Excel VBA introduction series, and the video, I don't remember the video number, but the title is the life of a variable in VBA, right? So you should go ahead if you want to understand what are the public variables, global variables, and local variables. So basically global variables are declared on the top with the global word, and global means that they can be used from any module to the, any module. You can simply jump off, from one macro to the another macro, or from one module to the another, and they never lose their value. So now this is the email which popped up, and now in the body this is all going to be written. So this is just a simple, basically a string which is written here, has applied leave for this PL date, please do the needful. So if I just press F8, it says that method range of object failed because of the reason if you remember, I deleted actually the y, and I think that is the reason it's giving me this error. So because I thought that the y is not going to be here, so y actually was this target user written here, so he actually has some valid reasons to use it, y equals to the target row, and I think the target row was row number of this cell, which is going to be the 6, right? So I think the 6 would come here, and then the 6, each A6 value employee name would come here. All right, so that's how, I mean, he was planning that. That's the reason he was doing it. Okay, I got it now. Let me reset the code and let us just run the code again. So if I just write here PL, now you know that this will go in the else mode. So from here we're gonna get everything. We got the PL date and send email. I'm going to run it fast. Now finally email will be displayed, and now you can see that in range a6 dot value of this workbook, if I just show you, basically the row number would remain same because wherever you are applying the PL. So if I apply PL for myself, right, obviously this is my area. Suppose if Anchal is going to apply the PL for herself, then she writes here that she wants to apply the leave. So on the same row with the different column, which is A, will be able to check that who is applied for that leave. So that is why here we are saying that pick up the same row, which is 6, because that is a target row where you written the PL and then pressed enter, and but then concatenate it with the A, so it becomes A6. In the A6 you have a name of that person. So when you know run like this, if I show you, that's how the email would look like. Anchal Pandey has applied the leave for 1st of April, and you know that the PL is, we have concatenated this. Like, this is a simple trick. And then you can of course put somebody in this too, and then in the CC username means that the email should go to that person as well, right? So this is what they have done, but I doubt here that why you want to capture the my username, because it's not an email ID, right? But maybe you can concatenate it if you think that the user, you have the emails, your company has have made the emails basis your usernames, then you can concatenate it with further with the outlook.com or whatever it is. But that's not important. What is important is that how the functions are working, the how we are calling from one macro to the another macro. So if I just run this is how you get to see the subject leave approved request by Acer. All right, so here I can understand that you're using the user, but I don't think so you got to use this .cc. It is not required, right? If you want to mark this mail to maybe some team leader, not the manager, keeping them also in the loop, then you can also write it. Then I think it makes sense. But this is important. Here you are, of course, leave approval request by the user. This is fine. So this is how the email would go and the macro will stop, guys, right? So this we have done. Now the point is, so I hope you understood everything about this functionality, what basically we are doing here. But the point is, if I want to apply one more PL, for example, then Anchal, what she did is she applied one more PL. Now you know that this cell would come as H6. So if I just go here and I see that what is the target, it is going to be PL. So it's a part of my G6 to AK15. So the target dot address would come as G $G6. Now I want to actually remove the 6 from it. I want to get only the $G because I know the row number is going to be 5. So that's all this function is doing, and y is also going to calculate the row number, which is 6 again. So now you have a new val using find1 find2. You can see here we have got the $H and $5. Finally we are going to concatenate this, we have concatenated this $H with basically this 5. So you get to see here, and then we're going to use this. What is the PL? So PL should come here as now 2nd of April. Very nice. Now after getting the value, we are going to send the email. So you see that here again the same process would go, and again the same email will be drafted and the email would go. He is using dot display. You can also use dot send if you want to send the email without popping it up, right? Dot send is the another method. But now the thing is that what we want to do, if I apply for 2 leaves, I should not be able to there should be only one email which should go. That is the main challenge. This is the code which Alam has prepared. So I hope that I was able to explain you this. Now let's go to the real topic. So first of all, I'm going to write first of all my name. For example, I write my name here. I'm going to apply for this. Now every time when you enter anything in this sheet, this macro will always run because there is a change happening in the the sheet. So now you know that my target cell actually is A6, so obviously which is not going to intersect with this G6 to G6 to AK15. It's not a part of that range, so you see that it will always stop the macro, right? That we all know. Now guys, my idea, what I want to do